It is my pleasure to evaluate Alice Koh's The Amiable People speech. And how appropriate, because I can't think of hardly anyone else in the world, besides maybe her twin sister, that's a more amiable person. Have you ever seen her in a bad mood or not just out of sorts with people? No, she is just a tremendously amiable person. And your speech was 7 minutes and 27 seconds. Wow, right to the last minute, great time control. But I could see that panic coming in as you watched the flag, and I could sense the emotional tension of not wanting to go over time. And so I would like to start with a little bit of a tip to compress your speech. When you know you've got a lot of information, you can do things like not waste time in drawing out the whole chart, okay? And instead of writing it out, you could have done this ahead of time. That would have saved you about 15 more seconds, and you'd be a little more relaxed with your time. Number two, you had this red dot, a very important thing that you're supposed to chart out on the speech, but it didn't stick to the blackboard. Well, you didn't, the red dot wouldn't stick, but you already had a red marker in your hand, and you could have put it there, pulled the magnet out, okay? So when your props don't work, you need to keep thinking on your feet. Number three, I'd like to talk about some interesting highlights to add a little more spice to your speech. You talked about when you were being an intern at EY, okay? Now, EY is not accident in Chinese. It's a very prestigious accounting firm, one of the top 10 in the world. You see, these are little things that would make the speech stick more in the mind of your audience. I was an intern at one of the top accounting firms in the world, EY. And when we had training, their trainers were very good, and then you explain your chart. Another good thing that I thought you did very well was using the pace of speech to express something. When you're talking about eating slowly, you said, I eat very slow, okay? But here's a little more spice you could add in. You could put, sort of like the recording of something slow motion. I eat very slow, okay? Just to spice things up a little bit more. Then you went on to your experience in Europe. Now, do you know where she was in Europe? She was in Austria, Vienna, Austria. And that's another thing. It's one thing to be in Europe, it's another thing to be in Austria, the place of the sound of music and all this. And because they were very international, that's why I needed to introduce my experience for school and plug the school in Chinese as part of the internationalism of the school. Okay? So, very good. Compress your words. Also, spice things up with very relevant facts that would make it more interesting for the audience. Thank you.